This shocking drone discovery leaves scientists in awe. Amazing places and natural wonders, uncovered with the help of drones and modern technology, captivate the imagination. Today, I have prepared a selection of incredible discoveries and strange phenomena captured by drone cameras for you, and you will also learn how drones help protect monuments. Let's go. Stone halls in the mountains. Hidden among the steep cliffs of the Zhengde mountain range, not far from Beijing, lies an extraordinary structure consisting of several interconnected stone halls. According to local legends, it has existed for hundreds of years, and each hall is connected by a complex network of corridors and passages. Researchers to this day are puzzled over how the ancients people were able to so skillfully carve the stone and organize full-fledged living quarters within its depths. Inside this complex, rooms of various sizes and shapes were discovered with unusual unique views, windows, and even stone beds. All of this indicates that a highly developed culture once inhabited this place. However, who was behind the creation of this complex structure and for what purpose it was built remains a mystery. There are several hypotheses. Some believe that these labyrinths served as military fortifications, while others suggest they were a secret refuge for those escaping persecution. What the reality was, science does not yet know. Giant structures beneath the ice of Antarctica. To understand how the ocean affects the melting of Antarctica's ice shelves, scientists used a remotely operated vehicle, which was sent beneath the Dotson ice shelf in the western part of the continent. Maps of the region were created using sonar. During the course of the exploration, the underwater drone traveled more than 620 miles in both directions, diving into the ice cavity to a depth of miles. Previously, we used satellite images and ice core analysis to observe changes in the glaciers. However, by sending the device under the ice, we were able to obtain high-resolution maps of the underside of the ice. It's comparable to as if we had looked at the far side of the moon. This is extremely important for understanding the processes occurring in Antarctica, explained Anna Wallin, the lead author of the study and a professor of oceanography at the University of Gothenburg in Sweden. The results of the study led to quite interesting discoveries, such as unusual shapes of peaks and valleys at the base of the glacier, where underwater currents slowly erode the ice, moving into the crevices. Particularly intriguing was that these peak and valley formations resembled sand dunes stretching up to 1,300 feet. After studying them, the team concluded that they might be the result of water movement beneath the glacier, caused by the Earth's rotation. If you closely examine these structures, you can notice their asymmetry and curvature, similar to muscles. This is related to the Earth's rotation. Water in motion in the southern hemisphere is subject to the Coriolis force, which deflects it to the left relative to the direction of movement, explained Valen. The process that creates these structures is called the Ekman spiral. When the wind acts on the upper layer of water, it transfers its movement to the deeper layers. Each layer of water moves more slowly than the one above it, until the movement stops at a depth of about 328 feet. The influence of the Coriolis force causes currents in the northern hemisphere to deflect to the right, and in the southern hemisphere to the left, creating a spiral effect. As a result, the deeper layers of water, moving slowly, begin to move against the current of the upper layer. Polish forests. In the depths of Polish forests, especially in the regions of Lower Silesia and near the Masurian lakes, drone technology allows for the detection of old bunkers built during World War II. Many of these structures were forgotten for many years and are completely covered with vegetation. These defensive structures were built to protect against the advance of Soviet troops and became part of the so-called Eastern Wall. Today, thanks to the capabilities of drones, researchers can access such hard-to-reach places and find partially destroyed bunkers, remnants of military equipment, propaganda posters, weapons, and even classified plans. These findings help historians reconstruct the picture of how the Nazi army prepared for defense in these regions. They also provide insight into the life and daily routine of soldiers who were forced to hide in such harsh conditions, amidst forests and swamps. The confluence of two rivers with different water temperatures. Modern high-resolution aerial photography has allowed the discovery of new, previously unknown rooms and corridors, indicating much more extensive underground structures than previously thought. In Switzerland, in Geneva, there is a unique place where two rivers meet, the crystal-clear Rhone and the murky Aar, rich with sediments. From the height of a drone's flight, you can observe how these two streams flow side by side without mixing immediately, creating a distinct boundary between the waters, with blue and brown colors. This phenomenon is explained by differences in temperature, flow speed, and water content. Besides the visual beauty, such a natural contrast represents an important research subject for scientists in the fields of ecology and hydrology. By studying how these two different streams merge, specialists can predict the behavior of other large rivers, determining which factors influence precipitation distribution and developing methods to preserve the health of aquatic ecosystems. A Roman statue in the Roman woods. In one of Italy's picturesque corners, a majestic statue of the Apennine Colossus unfolds before your eyes, seemingly merging with the surrounding rocks and dense forests. There is a legend that it was created by the outstanding Renaissance sculptor Gian Bologna, inspired by the images of ancient Titans. This massive figure, carved from stone, symbolizes the spirit of the Apennines, expressing the struggle between natural force and human determination. The size of the statue is striking, and its arm and legs seem to merge with the outcrops of the mountain rocks. It looks like an ancient guardian, protecting forgotten secrets and myths of the past. Standing nearby, you feel how art conveys not only beauty but also the power of nature. The whimsical forms of life in Hawaii. The centuries-old lava caves of the Hawaiian Islands have formed a complex network of underground tunnels and caves. Despite the fact that living conditions in these places are extremely unfavorable, dark, cold, with high concentrations of toxic minerals, scientists have managed to discover thousands of unknown bacterial species that could significantly expand knowledge about the so-called microbial dark matter. A recent study published in the journal Frontiers in Microbiology reveals the astonishing diversity of bacterial life in the volcanic environment of the islands. Researchers from the University of Hawaii at Manoa, in collaboration with NASA, collected dozens of genetic samples of ribosomal RNA from active geothermal vents in various lava tubes and caves, whose ages range from 400 to 800 years. Due to the extreme conditions, these sites contain fewer microbial species and have a lower bacterial population. However, to the great surprise of the scientists, it was in such extreme places that bacteria with much more complex interactions among themselves were found. The discovered bacteria also rarely intersect with other species, suggesting that each of these environments has its own unique microbial ecosystem. Scientists still have to study and identify thousands of new species. One of the most interesting discoveries was bacteria known as chloroflexia. According to the scientists, these bacteria might be central organisms playing an integral role in the interdependent network of other microbial species. It was the chloroflexia that were found at all the studied sites. Chloroflexia are an extremely diverse group of bacteria that perform many different functions in a wide variety of environments. But they are not well studied, so we do not know what they do in these communities. Some scientists refer to such groups as microbial dark matter, invisible, or unstudied microorganisms in nature, the researchers write. Interestingly, the results of the study may aid in the search for ancient life on Mars. The volcanic systems in Hawaii are geologically similar to the systems on ancient Mars, where there were active volcanoes and geothermal vents. If microbial life is capable of thriving in the harsh environment beneath Hawaii, then similar organisms might have once lived on Mars. The astonishingly colorful Lake Hillier. Imagine a lake that is not blue or green, but truly pink, as if half filled with strawberry milk. Such a natural wonder can be found on one of the remote islands off the west coast of Australia. From above, it sharply contrasts with the dark blue ocean and looks like a delicate spot amidst the greenery of the salt lagoons. Scientists explain this astonishing color by the presence of microorganisms that release special pigments. The water in Lake Hillier is incredibly salty, thus creating ideal conditions for the existence of these unusual bacteria and algae. Interestingly, the color does not disappear even if you take the water in a glass. Reaching this mysterious place is not easy, and that's why the best photos are usually taken with drones. Due to its remoteness and protected status, access is only possible with special permits, which adds even more mystery to the lake. Stone axes in the forests. Amazonia. In a remote and hard-to-reach part of the Amazon rainforest, Brazilian researchers discovered an isolated tribe that has lived all these years completely cut off from the outside world. They avoid contact with civilization, maintaining their traditional way of life and protecting it from diseases and foreign influences. The existence of this people was long suspected, with only rare traces being found. Ancient stone axes, handcrafted, confirm that this tribe uses traditional methods of labor. However, it was a drone that allowed scientists to capture from the air the structure and the field they cultivate. The images show how the tribe lives happily, building houses from leaves, cultivating crops, and engaging in hunting and fishing. It is assumed that there are several more such communities hidden in the Amazon. Modern technologies help to discover and protect them without disrupting their traditional way of life. Sometimes drones prove to be indispensable not only for archaeologists, but also in extreme situations. For example, in one of the canyons, there was a landslide, and a tourist was trapped in a narrow cave. However, a drone filming the landscapes noticed movement and captured the signals from the person. With the help of this data, the rescue team was able to accurately determine the location of the victim and pull him out alive and unharmed. This case clearly demonstrates how new technologies can save lives in the most challenging conditions. A drone on guard for the protection of monuments. In the Chinese province of Gansu, there are ancient Buddhist grottos. Magician, a unique work of art that is already many hundreds of years old. The stone walls of these grottos are adorned with intriguing sculptures, frescoes, and statues. However, due to their location on steep cliffs, the monument is exposed to additional risks of destruction. In such conditions, drones have become indispensable allies for scientists. Drones ascend to the most inaccessible areas, where they detect even the smallest cracks and signs of deterioration. With the help of these technologies, scientists were able to timely detect the threat of rock collapse after heavy rains, and take measures to prevent the falling of stones. Thus, drones not only protect cultural heritage, but also significantly deepen our knowledge of ancient monuments, playing a key role in their preservation and study. The face of a hermit in the forest. In one of the old abandoned quarries of Edinburgh, which was later transformed into Hylie's Quarry Park, there is a legend about a hermit who once lived in these parts when the quarry was still operational. According to local residents, he lived in a cave somewhere nearby, but no one could confirm his existence for sure. During the park's renovation, it was decided to commemorate this mysterious recluse by creating a giant face carved into one of the rock outcrops. From drone heights, you can see how this enormous profile seems to emerge from the greenery, gazing at the visitors. Although the figure itself does not have ancient origins, it seems to carry the history of a person who once chose the stone depths as their refuge. Now this image has become an integral part of the landscape, living within it and reminding us of the mysterious past of this place. The Gate of the Gods in Peru. In southern Peru, near Lake Titicaca, there is a mysterious structure known as the Gate of the Gods, or the Portal of Raumaru. It is a huge slab of pink granite carved in the shape of a massive door. The question of who created this unusual structure and for what purpose still sparks heated debates. Some believe it is the creation of pre-Incan civilizations, while others suggest that aliens might be behind it. Local shamans' legends say that the portal is a mystical passage to other worlds, guarded by spirits. From drone heights, it becomes clear how precisely the stone is crafted and how perfectly the proportions of this door are measured. Although some believe it could be the result of rare geological processes, the mystery surrounding the Gate of the Gods. For many centuries, it remains one of the most intriguing mysteries of the region. A village in the desert. In the deserts of New Mexico, under the sunny expanses, archaeologists have long been studying the ancient village of Blue Jay, which is estimated to be several hundred years old. As early as the mid-20th century, it was established that there were once several dozen pueblos located around a valuable source of fresh water. However, many aspects of the village's history remained unclear, as parts of the ruins were hidden under layers of sand and vegetation. Recently, a group of scientists used a small drone with a thermal imaging camera and discovered new shapes and structures that had not been noticed before. What was particularly striking was that, judging by the thermal traces, there might be a circular room deep underground, which was presumably used for rituals. This is reminiscent of underground halls known as kivas, which are characteristic of cultures associated with the Chaco people. Although there are few preserved buildings in Blue Jay, this discovery indicates the presence of sacred sites and a complex ceremonial life in this ancient village. The Gates of Vat. In the secluded corners of Turkmenistan lies a famous chasm that has long attracted attention as the Gates of Vat. The history of this place begins several decades ago, when a giant crater was formed as a result of the ground collapsing over natural gas deposits. Scientists decided to set it on fire to prevent the dangerous release of toxic substances, expecting the fire to extinguish in just a few weeks. However, the flames continue to rage to this day. From the edge of the crater, there is an incredible view of the vast burning lake that surrounds the crater, which is dozens of feet in diameter. The tongues of fire do not cease, fueled by constant gas emissions. The heat here is so unbearable that it's impossible to stay nearby. This unique fiery crater has become one of the most striking natural attractions, drawing thrill seekers. Who wouldn't want to see with their own eyes the bottomless fiery abyss opened in the earth itself? An abandoned burial cave. In a remote ravine on the island of Gran Canaria, which is part of the Canary archipelago, a drone accidentally stumbled upon a forgotten burial cave. During the excavations, scientists discovered the remains of several dozen people, including children. Based on the findings, researchers suggest that the burials belong to the Guanches and partially to the Spaniards who previously inhabited these lands. According to archaeologists, the cave dates back to the end of the first millennium AD. Among the items found were burial shrouds made from plant fibers and hides, indicating a highly developed ritual practice of the Guanches. Although similar collective burials have been found in the Canary Islands before, the remains of infants in this context are encountered for the first time. This discovery has led scientists to reconsider their understanding of the burial traditions of this enigmatic civilization. Mysterious circles in the Kalahari Desert. On the vast expanses of the desert, the Kalahari, one can find astonishing phenomena. The so-called fairy circles are patches of land in a circular shape where nothing grows, but a bright ring of green grass is visible around them. Scientists have been trying to solve this mystery for many decades, and several theories exist. One of them suggests that termites, which alter the soil composition, are the cause of these barren circles. According to another hypothesis, in this way, plants can optimize the process of collecting and conserving water with the development of technologies, especially drones. Scientists have managed to obtain precise aerial images where these circles appear particularly striking. Researchers believe that thanks to these images, they can gain a key understanding of the adaptive mechanisms of plants in harsh conditions. Deserts. In any case, these natural formations may be an example of an extremely efficient water distribution system, allowing vegetation to survive and form. These characteristic rings in the desert landscape. The Eye of the Sahara. In the western part of the Sahara lies an amazing geological formation known as the Eye of Africa, or the Eye of the Sahara. When viewed from above, this formation appears as a ring structure, resembling a giant target with circles radiating from the center. There was previously a hypothesis that this was the result of a meteorite impact. But scientific research has shown that the rock in the rings does not have the characteristic signs of explosive impact. The modern version asserts that the formation of the Eye of Africa is the result of centuries of erosion and a slow uplift of the Earth's crust, which led to the creation of this impressive concentric structure. Each layer forms a fold, gradually revealing new geological strata, and from above, these circles look like a fantastic pattern carved into the sands of the Sahara. Strange hills on which a city in Italy stands. An interesting discovery was made using drones on the island of Sicily in the small town of Centuripe. At first glance, the city looks like the figure of a person when viewed from above. This unique phenomenon was noticed by a local photographer who decided to use a drone to take a series of photographs of the city. He combined them into a panoramic shot that amazed many. The city is situated on 5 elevations that spread out from the central part, resembling arms and legs. This astonishing geographical fact raises questions. Was this designed by humans many centuries ago, or is this arrangement a random natural phenomenon? Centuripe has a long history, and many ancient Roman artifacts have been preserved here. But now the city is also known for its unusual appearance, resembling a human figure. Sometimes, to see something properly, you need to rise to a height. Sometimes, what we see can radically change our worldview. However, in my proposal that I want to make to you, friends, everything is simple and transparent. You have a unique opportunity to become part of our team. If you have video editing skills, can voice over videos in Russian, English, and other languages, or write interesting scripts, we would be happy to work with you. Contact us through our Telegram bot. The link is in the description. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.